Hi guys, Balthelion here with another channel update just to fill you guys in on what you can expect in the next couple of months. So as you've probably noticed already, it's been pretty quiet the last couple of months since about the start of December, and there's been a number of reasons for that. First off, obviously, is the run up to Christmas is always pretty busy for everyone. You know how it is, you've got to buy presents for people, and some people are easier to buy presents for than others. We've all got those relatives, and yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. But things were a bit more complicated for me this year because I ended up proposing to my girlfriend a couple of days before Christmas. So that meant I had to do a lot of pre-planning, organising, and so on and so forth, and I had to go ring shopping, all this kind of complicated stuff, which meant that I had to spend a lot of time devoted to that, and particularly do that when my girlfriend wasn't around. So that meant a lot of my recording time had to go kind of down the drain a bit, and I didn't really have much time to record much in the way of videos. So the run up to Christmas was pretty devoid of content once we ran out of the stuff in Dunland and so forth. And since Christmas, it's been just as busy, if not more so, because we've obviously been trying to plan various aspects of the wedding, going out, looking at venues and stuff like that. So it's been pretty mad. It's just about starting to calm down again, so I'm having some time as of now to actually sit down over the weekend and potentially look at starting to record some new content, which is nice. So what does this mean for the videos coming up soon then? So the Let's Play will be back as of this week. Now, the content might not be what you're expecting. We do hope to sit down and record the Isengard instances at some point in the near future, though because it's quite hard to get a group of kinnies together at the moment, mainly because there's less of them around these days, less of them online, so it might be a bit harder to get the 6-mans, particularly on level, going. So what we'll probably end up doing is we'll record the 3-mans. We might end up cheating and doing the 6-mans with less people, but just at higher level, just so you guys can see inside them what they kind of look like, even if it's going to be a bit of a face roll to do the actual content. And as far as the raids go, I mean, we would love to do the Drygok raid, but since you need 6 people to actually physically complete the content, it's a bit of a pain. You can't just bring a few high level characters and face roll it. It's a lot more complicated, and that kind of needs a couple of people to record different viewpoints of the raid, because there's a lot going on in different places of the raid at the same time, so it will need to be like a multi-camera video, which would be complicated. But if we can get the people to do that, and someone else to record the bits and pieces, we should be able to do that. But rather than holding back the recording of the Let's Play until we can have enough people to do this instance, we'd rather just get on with the Let's Play and stop delaying things, and just weave that into there as just a 1 week detour, 1 episode detour, and then go back to our regular Let's Play wherever we're at when that video comes out. In terms of the landscape content, well, the next region that's properly coming up in the game is the Great River region, and the plan with that at the moment is that I will probably duo that with Benji, just as a little 2-man recording. So if you guys would prefer to have us do that as a duo rather than just me on my own, it's up to you guys. Let me know what you think. It's kind of a change of pace. It's nice sometimes to have someone to kind of bounce ideas and have a bit of a laugh with, and not need to talk all the time, which is kind of the downside of recording solo. It means I have to constantly be talking, even though some people have expressed that, you know, sometimes they just like to hear the game sounds and the music and really enjoy that. And we'll particularly do that when we get to Rohan, because God help me, I don't know if that's going to end up triggering copyright warnings, having the Rohan soundtrack. This is the in-game Rohan soundtrack, not the movie soundtrack. But the in-game soundtrack is fantastic. It's my favourite music in the game, so we're going to make sure the music volume is going to be up for that. But what we're probably going to do in the immediate coming weeks is that instead of actually doing the Great River and getting started with that, I'm actually going to go back and record Ered Luin, which is one of the starter regions. That's where the elves and dwarves start. And the reason for doing that is because before Christmas I did some polls on what kind of content you guys want to see about Lotto, and some of the suggestions were you wanted to see those regions, because we missed those out. You wanted to see the High Elf race, which came out not too long ago. So it's a good time to go back, take a High Elf, run it through the Elf starter region. It's kind of a match made in heaven, really, and it's not a huge region, so it wouldn't take too long. We can kind of do that as a little side quest, and then jump straight into recording the Great River, either solo or as a duo. And the Great River will lead us straight down into Eastern Rohan, which is a lovely area. Gets a bit of stick because of mounted combat, and people don't like mounted combat, but aside from that, it will be good fun. So yeah, we'll take a High Elf. I'm not sure what class the High Elf is going to be through Ered Luin. It'll be one of the classes we've done already, just something that synergises nicely with the High Elf's passives. When we go to the Great River will be recorded with the Lawmaster, at least on my front. I don't know what Benji would end up taking if he comes along for the ride. And after that, we've covered all classes, so Eastern Rohan onwards, we can kind of start rehashing some of our existing characters and classes. So it's kind of up to you guys what you'd like to see in those regions going forwards. As for other Lotro themed videos that are going to be coming out on the channel, one of the other things you guys expressed an interest in was seeing more top 5 style videos. So the original top 5 video I did, which was on regions, that continues to this day to be popular with people viewing it, commenting on it, giving their own thoughts on what their top 5 regions are, so it's great to have that engagement with you guys. But the next video that I'm kind of planning is the top 5, although strictly speaking it's become a top 10, is the top 10 classes in the game. Now, for those of you that may not be aware, there are exactly 10 classes in the game, which is why it just synergised quite nicely with being a 2-part video. So I've started recording the content for the first 5, which is going to be counting down from number 10 to number 6, and it's taken a lot of preparation to do because there's obviously a lot of scripting about having to talk about each 10 classes in depth, count those down, work out what order I would put them in, and trying to be objective about how I would put those classes in that order rather than going with personal preference, because I can guarantee you my personal preference would be completely different to this final list. And it's quite interesting, quite objective, so it'll be interesting to see what you guys think of that. It does mean that I have to sit down and spend a lot of time recording. I'll have to get some videos to play in the background for each of the classes. Now what I might end up doing is cheating and just putting in bits of the Let's Play videos for each of those classes that we've done in the past, which means that the only one I will be missing is the Lawmaster, which I'll have to record something for. But it should be good, so I'm hoping to get the first part of that out soonish. The second half of that would probably have to wait, you know, weeks, a month or so, whenever the first part comes out, so you just have to stay around for that. But I'd be interested to see what other top 5 videos you think I should do about the game, what kind of things would interest you, and what you're interested on hearing my thoughts on. Another video I was planning on doing in the near future is a video about the Burglar class. Now this is not a class guide or a specialisation guide, which you guys were asking for all classes, not just the Burglar. But it's kind of my thoughts on kind of where the Burglar is at the moment. Now, for those of you that don't play the Burglar or don't know, there was a bit of an update before Christmas to kind of change the Burglar. And rather than helping the Burglar, it kind of nerfed the Burglar even more, which was kind of a bit of a pain in the backside. And it's kind of been one of the other things that's kind of made me lose a little bit of interest in the game at the moment, and kind of contributed a bit more to my existing kind of burnout. So I've got kind of various thoughts and opinions on how you could improve the Burglar, how you can effectively fix the Burglar, if you will, and make it more relevant, make it more useful in the current game meta. So I'm going to probably do that as an unscripted video and just kind of rant and ramble about my ideas. So that shouldn't take too long to record, and hopefully I'll have that out in the near future. One of the other things that you guys were asking about when I was doing the polls prior to Christmas was what other MMOs do I play? What are my thoughts on those MMOs? How do they stack up to Lotro? You know, are they paid MMOs? Do they need a subscription or some other means of paying for them? Are they pay to win? Are they good to play just as a casual player? You know, obviously MMOs generally take up a lot of time to play and play regularly. Some MMOs are quite nice to just sort of dip your toes into, you know, once every couple of weeks, couple of months, you know, just dip in every update. Other MMOs might require you to spend a lot of your waking hours in them. So some are better suited to playing as a secondary or tertiary MMO or game in general than others. So I might do some videos about those. Probably just do like little one-off videos. The other possibility as well that I'm hoping to do is start getting some streaming done. Maybe settle into doing like a regular stream once a week or so. The complication with that is that my schedule tends to be a bit fluid week to week, mainly because of my fiance's work schedule, so what we're doing kind of tends to change week to week, but it might be I'd sit down on a semi-regular basis. Probably it would be a midweek date, maybe Tuesdays, because that's generally a day that I'm not doing too much. That might be a good day to do. And just sit down, just spend a couple of hours. Maybe it'll be knocking about in Lotro, doing something that's not going to be done in the Let's Play, so like festivals and that kind of stuff. Maybe some instances, maybe different MMOs, just showing those off a bit, and maybe just some other little random games. Just have an evening playing a particular game and seeing what you guys think of it, and just showing those off. Just little games that interest me and will keep my attention for a couple of hours, and just get to hang out with you guys. See your thoughts, interact with you guys, maybe talk a bit about Lotro and that kind of stuff, what your thoughts are on various matters. But yeah, so that's about it really. So let me know what you guys think. If there's any videos that you want to see, either to do with Lotro or other games or anything like that, then please let me know in the comments. But until then, I will see you guys later.